He's also... goes a long way.
Just a little spark. Charge it up.
It goes a long way.
See all this in its heyday, in its full splendor.
I should have brought my sketchbook.
Just a little spark. Charge it.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I going mad? What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing. I hate it. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go? They have a sick sense of humor. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward.
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
It's not just me, right? The plants are talking.
Oh my gods. They're alive? How? Where would I even begin?
Giada Castel, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
We feel her pain like initials carved in our bark. She needs answers only we can give.
What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family. I know they are. My mother and father would not have wanted this. A good animancer embraces death. And they were the best. I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapadal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat. But that isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being. Indulge me a moment. I've been waiting a long time for this. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
Not to be pedantic, but that was 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sapadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness. Shit. This is going to hurt. Sapadal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, I overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Chiara. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to. Our purpose draws to a close. May the living lands receive you.
Goodbye.
Give her space, dearie. Giada will speak more when she's ready.
All this time, I thought my parents died in a freak accident, and in a way, they did. Generous? Perhaps. This whole experience has me consider. Look at what my mother accomplished. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. No animancer can live up to that. I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only... I suppose I have been all this time. One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I wanted to tame the spirit of the Hey, this is a big moment. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. Then again, who am I to... On the other hand, half the fun of anima... I think I know what I want. But there are too many... I have a lot of catching up to do. So be it. Starting to... Knowing me, maybe a little too ambitious. Now I just have to decide which field of reason. I've only got one lifetime. Hey.
Giada's parents would be proud. And maybe a bit... worried. Child's play. Walk like a child.
A little power goes a long way. Just a little spark. Charge it up. Just a little spark. A little power goes a long way.
Isokso!
This looks like the Akita building this place. Clearly they wanted their story preserved, no matter the cost. Garlawain's gonads. Look! It's even the same hearth from my dream. And that's the chair. It's the picture of coziness. It's plush and warm, Envoy. What more do you want? Finally! You've arrived. Ah, there it smells. That took 10 years off my life. Wait. You must be the librarian from my dreams! Oh, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Oh, though, you do look quite familiar.
The resemblance is uncanny.
It has been quite some time. Too many years to number. Of course. You are an ancestor? A very fashionable one at that. No, child. We are the keeper of these tablets. Or have you already forgotten? Oh, of course. I was you in a past life. Oh, I'm such a fool. You lived with animancers, and yet the idea of awakening to your past lives never entered your mind.
Few can bear the mental and spiritual strain of an awakening. As often as not, it leads to madness.
Oh, darling, you know how I get around all the metaphysical talk.
That's why I'm here, remember?
I was the last of the Akita. Once the attacks started, a few of us were charged with preserving as much of our history as we could. So, we retreated with as much as we could carry. The attacks? You must mean... the Magfolk attacks. Yes, we've... heard... Is that the reason for the bodies outside? Yes. Your monstrous gods, who bought their divinity with blood and the souls of their faithful. They tried to butcher every last one of us. Yes. There was little else I could do. I'm a scholar, not a fighter. A lesson I'm glad you learned. But how did the Magfolk reach you in here? They didn't. Between the screams of my kin being slaughtered and the screeching of the Magfolk, I couldn't breathe. That's the screeching I heard in my dream, Envoy. I knew I recognized it when we killed that magfolk. Once it was gone, there was nothing left. And perversely, I found the quiet worse. So I decided on another way. One that wouldn't give your gods the satisfaction. Poison? Well, at least you washed it down with some good wine. Hopefully we won't have to choose for ourselves anytime soon. Yatsley, you know what you must do now. I abandoned my duty to protect our history, but you... Someone must tell the story of the Akida, and there is no one else. I'm already an expert. What more do you want me to do? Oh, think about it, Yatsley. You have been training to be the new protector of this collection since childhood. I couldn't ask for a better successor. But that was your duty. I have my own dreams. Yatsley, if you do not become the new librarian, there will be no other. The stories of the Akida will turn to dust, and my people, our people, will be forgotten. Just as the burned queen wanted all along, when she sent her magfolk to choke the life from us. This is all too much. What do you think, Envoy? Oh, you're no help at all. Please, I ask for your opinion because I want it. Tell me, what do you think? True. They still have to find a new home, and I doubt Vidaro is strong enough to get them there. A chosen of Sapadal, yet you do not stand with your people. How disappointing. Our time is at an end, Yatsley. It's time for me to go. Wait! I've not even asked you any questions! Tell me about your marriage rights. Oh, did you mean for all your buildings to look so phallic? Unfortunately, my time is at an end. You must keep Yatsley alive. She is the last hope of the Akida. So this is goodbye. I wish we could have... No. I wish that all of you had a better ending. Choose well, Yatsley. And good luck. She's gone. Forgive me, Envoy, but we should get going. We can talk back in camp. Later. She must have wanted to leave some evidence of herself here. I would want the same thing.
We survived. Somehow.
There's always a weird sort of quiet on the eve of battle. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and...
Right. This seems like a
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here.
Sounds like you're nervous, dear.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways.
I feel it as well. It is on.
Oh, you don't have to. Now that we're here. Same. I'd rather have good company in a prison than paradise.
I had a feeling you might ask me that. I'm not sure I've really worked. I feel like I'm completely baffled.
I think so. Truthfully, I didn't come all this way. Now, we're close to something. Thank goodness. I don't know what happened.
Well, I won't lie. It's not every day that never literally talked to myself before. But here we are. I just need a moment to take it all in. Glad. And I wouldn't worry. Our little will be fine.
You've listened to all of us. How you've been shipwrecked and assassinated, harangued. You've had your soul poked, your loyalties questioned, and yet you've kept yourself and all of us together. How are you really doing?
You're very resilient. But we all know better. You're strong enough to survive.
That actually made sense to me.
I'll take that as a...
How about you, Envoy?
I'm partial to a nice bottle of Pargroon wood.
When we first met, I didn't. But then I saw how you handled that dream and then you found your own killer. It's rare to choose justice over vengeance, but you stood by your principles.
I didn't know much about you at that point.
I remember your calm. And when they burned my home, you gave me another one. I'll never forget.
I thought you could have been more helpful personally.
And now look at you. Look at us. Quite a lot, as it turns out.
Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a
Just this once. Could we...
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Right. We could all use some beauty.
Sleep well. Tomorrow we fit.
Oh, Envoy. I don't think I think I just need to say some things out loud. It's just... We have a god and an empire both vying for our attention, and I was already unsure what to do, and now a third option appears like... But... It makes sense. It explains why I knew the language, why I felt... It's not an answer I would have expected, but... Well, honestly, I feel more... No matter what happens, even if my... Oh, I was just thinking I needed more options. I think... For the first time in my life,
Congratulations, Yardsley. Now you're just like...
No matter what, I've always known exactly... But this is the first time I've had more options than time... What do you think? You're right. Really, leaving them in Vidaro's hands is... Thank you. Finally picking a destination. I'm sure Quilici would be relieved to know that I'll be back. And Envoy...
Hey, Giada. How are you holding up after seeing those, plant people?
Well, I've seen things not intended for mortal eyes, and uncovered the dark truth of my family's downfall. But here I am. And how are you?
Don't worry about me. I just want to know how you're feeling.
I'm... complicated.
safe to assume that the large glowing door is part of Sapadal's prison? Now. We'll just have to get past it.
Sapadal's prison, I think. What? What else could it be? Time to shut it down forever.
Used to quiet. That'll show him. Charge it up.
is a fox.
On your right.
Come on! Come all!
You won't get through. What's your flank? Coming from the left.
Isokso!
Gather round.
Well done. Careful with that thing. It's a mind of its own.
Seems like we've drawn a crowd. Oh, big mistake! On your left here!
He's also.
Envoy, watch your left! Under my protection! Envoy, to the right! Die on me! Onward! Come on! On the left! It's burning! Faster, I say! We'll get through this! On the right here. Watch your right!
He's also.
Head on, boy! I'll fix this!
At last you see our prison, the place where we have suffered. You are so small, we questioned if you were real. Then steps, a voice, through armies and corrupted soil, you persevered. Now, you are here. We were everywhere once, in everything. They burned us. They tore us out. Everything would have been different if they had not hurt us. But the other gods imprisoned us, left us to suffer alone in this place. We refuse to remain caged. Release us. The strangler is close now. We feel her wire against our flesh. She begs for our blood. Her wolves defile the city on the shore. The prey flees, hides. Talons carve a sentence in our skin. She strikes us now. Now! Pluck her out! We must be free of her! A spark. Wait. The essence bends here. Time flows into itself. You can reach her. Will the garden to open, it will take you there. A mountain of essence. We strain, but it will move for you. We were everything. What have we lost? What multitudes could we contain? We could run, leap in the water, flourish in forgotten hills. And pile injustice upon injustice. Never. We are owed for what they did. Let us rend our foes, burn them as she burned us. Like you showed us? Your words and actions do not meet in the heart. You met death and imposed the law of mortals. Yet you have done so before. We have seen you do so. We are only doing as you have shown us. Let us have our justice, our vengeance. The blood of our tormentors, or... The time has come. End our pain and let us free. We will rain fury on our enemies and shield our lands once more. Perhaps, what if unity, emergence, we would become one? Think you would never be desolate again. You would not question if you were, and we would. And we focus. They built their wall. No, we grow. And now?
Cassandра's depths.
It's paradise. But what happened here?
Are we back in Dawnshore? Already?
This is Sapadal's doing. I'm certain of it. No power in Aora could transport us so quickly, or so far. Doubtful. While they were in chains, so too was their power.
Are you seeing this? I don't think Paradise looked like this when we left it.
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually get that big.
Based on their growth and size, I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks.
For once, I wish I wasn't. Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our perception of time?
It's like how a body fights an infection. The fever gives you strange dreams.
Look at this place. It feels like we're still in the dream. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor, and steel garrote banners past the barricades. That can't be good.
Even Reingrim is here. Perhaps we'll get to see an Archmage in action.
The Blessed Wardens are here too. That conflict we've been trying so hard to prevent started without us.
It's who strikes last that counts.
The Steel Garrote have been itching for a fight this whole time. This would have happened...
Before we go, what happened back there with the Dream Scourge and Sapadal?
I'm not sure. That's good, right?
It's a relief that the Dream Scourge won't be a problem. Time will tell,
After all this time, they're free. And the living land is free.
We've cured the land, and we've even freed a caged god.
Then we had better keep Sapadal calm, starting with the cease.
We march on still. We run, but we are not here.
We should take a look. See if we can get ahead of...
People seem to be gathering west of here.
Sansa. They marched in with no warning. I couldn't think. I just ran.
See? You're here.
Why is there snow here?
That's gotta be Reingrim's work. I heard she made a snow.
A familiar face. We meet again on... And you, Yardsley.
Oh.
Paradise burns. Thanks to Ludwine and the Steel Garrote lay...
She must have come back to life.
It's remarkable how hard you mortals... Still, I do think the world has been... It is indeed. I'll admit. Now we're back to simple mortal. Perhaps. A new god. Mostly, I'm curious about whether... Ah, that mortal zeal. I am interested in seeing the outcome of your story, Envoy. Mortal comforts are so very adorable. Oh, goodbye, And Yardsley, I do look forward...
Oh, yes.
Envoy, what does the garrote... It's an outrage. I took my notes and bolted when they came through Hightown. They didn't think I...
Right now?
If you're looking for survivors...
How many?
I'm not sure. I saw Sapiento... I am sorry.
We should move. Let's hope...
Envoy, wait! I took some supplies when I ran.
haven't I been? I journeyed to the heart of the living lands. What a mess.
Envoy, I knew you'd...
It's good to see a familiar...
My revenants were just getting comfortable, and when I heard tensions were brewing, I thought to myself, Not to worry. They get spooked by gunfire. I'll keep them on a tight leash, just in case that's... Oh! And I've been meaning to... My revenants are docile again. Easier said than... Best of luck out there.
Thank you, Elia. My compliments to the flock, as always.
Enjoy.
We know you. Did you help us? We must have seen you.
How's Casagrada?
As prepared as he'll ever be.
Who knows? Maybe all this will make a hero out of him.
We don't need more heroes, so... They won't reach us. I'll shoot as soon as I see the whites of their hands.
If you're wounded, find a place to lie down. If I seem distracted... Believe it or not, we have more than enough. Unfortunately, my hands... Fucking... I didn't learn this trade so I could... Still, I can't just let the city fall.
The city needs healers, not killers. So, here... Try praying instead of just hoping. Metaphysically, the battle is already over. But politically, we have a... I'd rather be an outlaw than live anyway. Who knows what tomorrow... I think that's enough wool gather. Besides, I need to think. Don't stay up too late. Not before I've done some reading.
There you are, Envoy. Understood. I guess it helps we have a god on our side, right? I mean, a god beats a skeleton knight any day. This is just cleanup. Just figuring out who controls the living lands from here out. Someone once told me that war is just applied politics. Anyway, you should get some rest. Talk to you later, Envoy.
Envoy? Mihala told us you went into some place called...
When you didn't return, we took you for...
What did you see there?
It's too preposterous to believe. How could a...
Everyone, please, please. It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened? Finally, a ray of...
I will not grovel at the Envoy's feet for solving a plague.
Consider yourself blessed to be so ignorant, then.
You know nothing of me or my people.
Warden Commander, look around you. Is this really the time?
We believe the Dream Scourge was a malady of the soul. How did you put an end to it, Envoy?
Sapadal was responsible for the Dream Scourge.
So you say. But Shatterscarp is still littered with dream thralls.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going...
I suppose it stands to reason. What of this god, then? What does it mean that you freed...
Wodka, no doubt, saw Sapadal as a threat to her authority. So...
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots terror. They erupted from the earth the moment those...
Naku Tedek was riven with those things.
Similar roots had infected the structures at Naku Kubel. If they and the dreams and the gods thought it best to imprison the...
I suppose we can only pray you've made...
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapadal.
Having Sapadal at our beck and call might be to our advantage. I'd like to...
Keeping watch over Sapadal was a sacred task Nanru gave us when he left. For that reason alone.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back. But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. Inquisitor Ludwine has already joined the battle. She must have
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't...
Well, she's seen better days.
Ludwine's run through them.
All right, let's keep... Oh, cheer up. You wouldn't... So long as her passion for Wodika lives...
Then we destroy her faith? I have a theory about this.
Oh, good.
It is not, You can't be serious.
No. Don't tell me you're...
Don't do this. I followed you to the... But I won't follow you.
No. If you do this, you better say goodbye, Envoy.
I thought you were smarter than this.
The Wardens would sooner die than...
If you think Thirdborn will submit...
How many lives are you willing to forfeit for this benighted path to power?
No one will stand with you if you do this thing. What in Remagon's eight blasted hells are you thinking? Let's hope you're right.
Trust in Adiran to betray you.
May the militia have your head for this.
After everything we've seen and done, I'm returning to my people.
I thought we were a crew, Envoy.
I guess you made your choice, huh? Good work.
After all the Stilgarrote have done, you...
Hurry now. Find Ludwine and let... Be clever. Be swift. Go now, on Helia's wings.
This
Give me one
bullshit.
more moment of your time.
That's one word.
It's the last thing I will ever ask of you.
Strike that down! Here they come!
Isokso!
Resolução.
The envoy? Of course you'd be the I had. Hasn't it? But never mind that. I heard you laid our troops in. You won't let us All right. I'm glad I got to talk to you one last time.
Envoy, what are you doing? I thought you left town weeks ago. You can tell me when we make... You saw what things were like. Paradise was always up. Listen, take this key. I won't pretend. I warn you, though. Good luck.
I heard something. Hold it.
What was...
I'm ready to go!
Isak Sobre.
Monica demands your submission. Stand against her and fall.
So, and now you face me alone. The turquoise job. Who needs friends when you can have it? Is it true, on? Pledge yourself to the steel garrote, but I wonder. I'm so glad you... Before I accept you into the steel garrote, I require renounce suck. Yes. Renounce them again on... Again.
Free us only to cast us into the treachery like a knife.
Very good, envoy. Now. Excellent. With this blade, I dub you. Traitor! Unworthy of Wodika's accolade! In the end, the Imperial envoy died with honor, as their blood soaked into the soil of their homeland. Their soul departed for parts unknown, either to be imprisoned, reborn, or consumed by the gods. The steel garrote stood vigil over these lands for years to come. Under our watch, no child was born with the tainted mark of Sapadal.
Run her through, lop off her head, grind her bones to dust.
With this blade, I dub you a knight. Remember thy place. Long... With long... You will go no further! You're testing my patience! With the long... With this blade, I dub you. Traitor! Unworthy of Wodika. Long... You're done wasting my time! Prepare yourself!
Sobre. Isakso! Grow up and... Isakso!
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradise, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Adiran forces assemble around you, ready to accept new orders. Whatever happens next, their loyalty is yours. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The Dream Scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. The Living Lands is now a colony of the Adiran Empire, and you are its king. The Ascendant Steel Garrote demand that you rule them with a strangling fist, and you oblige them. Under your leadership, all worship of the gods is outlawed, save for worship of Wodaka. You replace the settlement's leaders with loyal captains from the Steel Garrote, and your followers work tirelessly to tame the frontier. Though you promise them an age of order and discipline is just over the horizon, peace forever feels just out of reach. You find yourself looking over your shoulder. You wait for a knife in the back. The rebels of Paradise come to learn that resistance is futile. After the assassin Egwolf died in custody, many of his worst fears about the Empire are confirmed. Some of his people splinter off, while others abandon the fight entirely. Their alliance is never the same. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. The ashes of Fior Messiverno continue to smolder. Scavengers avoid the ruins, fearful of spirits unleashed by animancy gone awry. The once promising city is nothing but a cautionary tale. The people of Shatterscarp find themselves caught between two sides, with Adirans keeping rule over the colony, and Dream Thralls still stalking the hills. Despite the steady flow of Adiran goods, some Thirdborners leave the city, trusting their chances with monsters more than those with an empire. The ones who remain watch with wariness and patience, waiting to see if Adir might let down its guard. For a brief but hopeful moment, Solace Keep opens the fortress doors to the new rulers of the Living Lands, allowing Adirans to come and go as they please. But the peace does not hold. Lacking patience for the Empire's unyielding demands, Mihala shuts the doors once again, issuing a warning. Those who trespass in Solace Keep will not leave alive. The Adirans waste no time gathering their forces, for an example must be made. For the first time in many years, Kai feels an agreeable restlessness. Not to flee, not to drift, but to venture. He visits the distant shores Tama told him about, and savors the modern marvels, ancient wonders, and breathtaking expanses he beholds. His heart swells, not with grief, but with awe. There is so much to discover, and he will spend his years chasing all of the joy and beauty the world has to offer him. With his travels alongside the envoy complete, Marius is left directionless once again. Rather than disappearing into his cups, however, Marius leans on his time among his companions to give him the strength to re-enter society and find comfort in civilization. He establishes a route between Paradise and Thirdborn, guiding travelers between the two in return for money and supplies. And while he has a reputation for being aloof, He joins the campfires from time to time, sharing stories of his time with the envoy that most travelers believe are completely made up. Giada continues to improve as an animancer. She dedicates her work to the spiritual health of the living lands, nurturing instead of exploiting. Others follow her example, seeking her tutelage from lands far and wide. In the years to come, rumors spread of a secret society gathering in the wilderness, where animancers work in harmony with nature. The dream of Fior Mes Iverno lives on in her. No longer under the threat of imminent death, Yardsley returns to the Animancers. Reunited with her beloved Quilici, she helps him and the Animancers as they put their lives together after the attack on Fior Mes Iverno. Eventually, she even has something nice to say to Vidaro. As the days pass in contentment and relative peace, Yardsley is struck by the persistent feeling that something is missing. Though she still devotes herself to her studies of both the arcane and the godless, the restlessness never goes away. Centuries of imprisonment and your guidance have changed Sapadal. Finally free, they create a fortress of their land. Where once spread open plains, they raise mountains. The bridges that connect the island's valleys, they dash into splinters. They regularly wash out the roads, and they drown the ports. The wilderness the settlements had held at bay overruns their borders and buries them in vines. Not one soul in the living lands lives free from fear of their god's wrath. But even as Sapadal builds themselves into the rogue god of Woedica's fears, the kith of the living lands persist. They are resourceful, and so long as Sapadal endures, so will they. Sapadal pours a fragment of their power into the statue they claimed from the temple of Aethys. Newly embodied, they roam the living lands and learn to experience the world as kith do. Their first attempts at locomotion are clumsy, and a stand of innocent trees is violently returned to the wheel. But as their confidence grows, so does their grace. Soon, they are bounding across the plains of eastern Dawnshore, leaping the river gorge in Emerald Stair, scaling the shark's teeth of Shatterscarp, and fearlessly wading into the Tusk's acid sea. When they break, they come to you to put them back together. And in time, they learn to fix themselves. They wander far afield. You see less of them, but they are never far from your thoughts. And on the rare occasion they return, they always bring you something beautiful and strange. An eerie quiet pulls you out of reverie. Your enemies are vanquished, and you alone stand triumphant. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.